The second, the first one 5-0. Kevin will on the mound. Up, there's a strike right there on the pitch from Killian. He has a 3.69 ERA. His record is 3-1 in 32 and 2. That misses outside. 1-1 the count. Perry in tight on the grass again. Hit by pitch and a couple of strikeouts in the first game. Strike two right there, 1-2 the count. Welcome back. Thanks for joining me. There's a foul ball right there. One and two the count on Bacon. Foul ball not able to be held. Colton Kirkham behind the mound with Killian behind the plate with Killian. Nolan the fourth, Dirksen, Smock across the outfield, Perry, Pachorik, Tolkien, and Santiago field with. That ball is going to be a nice job in the Killian step on the bag for the 3-1 ground out. That's going to bring Colton Rudy, the right fielder, in this team. First pitch is a strike to Rudy. Rudy starts the day batting .325. He takes a ball there. So 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out to Colton Rudy. On the count. Two balls, 1 strike, 1 out. There's a foul. Get my scoreboard doesn't have the. Get this game started here to get that one up there. There we go. 2-2 the count. That just misses for ball 3. So 3-2 the count. A couple of foul balls with a 2-strike count here by Colton Rudy. The strike 3 called on the inside corner. That's going to bring a midget. Landon Midget. He was 0 for 3 in the first. He'll step in here with 2 outs and nobody on. Strike, breaking ball catches the outside corner. Top of the first inning of the second game. This one is a 9-inning schedule. Hit by it's going to bring up Moreno was 1 for 3 in the game. Had a soft line out, a ground out, and a base hit to right field. He'll be up there with 2 outs and a runner at. The high fly ball on the left side. Out into shallow left field. Pachori, he'll take care of it. And so no runs on no hits. We go to the bottom of the first. No score. All right, to the bottom of the first week. Hollins on the mound for the Red Ravens. He has a 9.00 ERA. He is from Pride, Oakland. He has an 0-1 record. Just going to go back and catch how many innings he had pitched. And I wasn't able to find it. I was going to look that up real quick. And the answer to that question is 12 innings pitched this year. For the Blue Devils. First pitch to him is a called strike. Dirks was 2 for 4 in the first game, had a bunt hit and a 2 RBI. So 2 for 4 with a couple of RBIs and a stolen base. 1-1 the count on him. Ball off of his foot. Breaking Rudy across the outfield this game. Jernigan, Cruz, Midget, and Pace all the same with Burns by the plate. Cy Collins on the mound. One and two the count now. Way outside does that pitch stay. Marcus Dirks, Nolan Gonzago, then Pachorik, Perry, and Moita, Smock, Kirkham, and Tolk with Killian on the mound in this second game. There's a ball right back to the pitcher. He knocked down the Pace over to Pace for the 1-3 ground out. That's Nolan the fourth. Nolan the fourth was 1 for 4 in the first game, had a base hit. There's a ball headed to deep right. That's going to be extra bases. Nolan. And Nolan the fourth plugs the gap in right center for a double. That's going to bring up Santiago. Santiago will step in with a runner at second base and one out. Santiago was 2 for 3 in the first game. He was hit by a pitch, had a couple of base hits, one of them for an RBI. There's a strike, catches the outside corner. 0-1 the count. At second base and Nolan the fourth after that double. There's a foul ball headed back and over the third base dugout. There's a foul ball headed. Taken by Chadrick over in left field along the line. That's good. Pachorik will step in with 2 outs and a runner at second base. Pachorik was 2 for 3 in the first game, had an RBI single, a double, and reached on a base on balls. There's a breaking ball, catches the outside corner. I like staying off of that curveball on the first pitch, even if it's a strike. I'd much rather hit a fastball, but 0-1 the count on Pachorik. There's a strike 2, catches the outside corner at the knees. 0-2 the count. So as you can see from the outfield view, his toes take up as much of that as he can on the inside part of the plate. That's in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Burns. Gillespie caught the first game, Burns catching the second. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on. Bottom of the first inning action. Inside, got it in on his hands and fouled it over the third base dugout. So we'll do the 1-2 again. Breaking ball out to shortstop Cruz. Cruz up with it and over to Pay. So the Blue Devils get no run on 1 hit. We go to the second inning, no score. All right, to the top of the second we go. Cruz, Jernigan, and Pace scheduled up for the Red. Swing and a miss of that first pitch. Cruz was for 2 in the first game. He was hit by a pitch. Low and outside, 1-1 the count. At the plate. That's low and outside. Two balls, one strike to the shortstop, Cruz. That's down just a little. 3-1. Foul ball back to the screen. So 3-2 the count. As Nathan Cruz leads off the top of the second inning for the Red Ravens. Swing and a miss of that breaking ball for the strikeout. Jarnigan. Jarnigan was 0 for 3 in the first game. Had a couple of a third ground out. Sawyer Talk went out into shallow left field to get a ground ball and turn and throw him out. Took it away. There's a strike called. 0-1 the count. It's a foul ball. So quickly, countman Cooper Jarnigan. Throw though way outside and in the dirt. One hopper at Tolk. Tolk up with it and over to Santiago for the 4-3 ground out. That's going to bring up Wyatt Pace. He, in the first game, had a couple of pop outs and a punch out. He steps in with 2 outs and nobody on. Breaking ball a little bit low. 1-0 the count. There's a strike called. Kirkham didn't even to bring that one up. He was contesting the ball there, and we get a strike call. Swings through that. Pitch right there, took a little off of it, swung through it. Did the first baseman Wyatt Pace. So 1-2 the count on him. Comes the 1-2 from Killian, and a swing, a strikeout, a ground out, and a strikeout. Killian has a 3-up, 3-down inning. We go to the bottom half of the second inning. No score. Cade Perry, Wojda, and Smock. There's a ball headed to deep left, and that ball is going to be out of here. So Perry with the home run to left field gets the Devils off the goose egg early. So the Blue Devils with a run in the top. I hope that we're in the second or in the bottom, I should have said, but we didn't score in the first. But nonetheless, Perry gives us the 1-0 lead right there. It's going to bring up Wojda. Perry was 0 for 4. A couple of flyouts and a couple of strikeouts in that first game. Nice to get that hit right there. Want to know the count on Wojda? For 3 at a ground out, a strikeout hit in the first game. There's a strike called. 1-1 the count. Ball stayed inside. 2-1 the count. Field line. Little doinker out there in right field for a hit. That's going to bring up Spencer Smock. Smock was 1 for 2 in the first game. Had a base hit and was hit by a pitch. He was hit by a pitch on a 2-2 count. So one of the dreaded things by a pitcher is to, there's a ball hit over into the dugout of the Red. Won the count on the right fielder, Spencer Smock. Wojda at first. Breaking ball fouls. 0-2 the count now. Comes the 0-2. On to the count. Bottom of the second inning. Led the inning off with a home run. Then Wojda with the base hit. Down into the right. That's up high. 1-2 the count. On the right fielder, Spencer Smock. Breaking ball, fouls it back to the screen. The ball headed into left. Hold a box. Smock hits it hard right at the left fielder, Chadrick. But as we're watching and going with that, we've got a balk call. So Wojda down to second on the balk. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So that's going to bring up Kirkham. Kirkham, the catcher. Second. 167, fairly small. The high fly ball into center field, coming on to take that. Actually, Bacon gives way to Cruz, and Cruz makes a catch of that. Shallow center field. That's going to bring up Tolk. Tolk was 0 for 1 in the first game. He had a fly out and a couple of sack bunts. Now at second base with 2 down. That's up high for ball. Cy Collins on the mound, righty for the Red Ravens. The count on your breaking ball stays inside. 2-0 the count. Comes the 2 side corner at the knees. A visit to the mound. I believe that's Coach Mitz out. Ortiz played baseball with Coach Mitz, who's the assistant coach down at Coffeyville. Roster down in Coffeyville in, I believe, 06. Down there was maybe his last year. To Emporia after that to play. 3-1 the count after this visit to the mound is over with. That breaking game, I don't think that is for. Nonetheless, Coach Mitz is on that coaching staff. Visited with him for the last couple of years. And 3-1 the count. There's a strike outside. I'll check out the speed gun. Those of you watching, just right above the umpire's head, there is a display of the speed gun. There's a breaking ball. I usually don't get my head where I'm in time. That breaking ball was 78. So 3-2 now. The count on Tolk. And that ball drops low. Ruled a ball. So Tolk with the base on ball. Back to Dirks. Dirks will step in. Dirks is from Kansas City, Kansas. Will step in with 2 outs and 2 on in the bottom of the second inning. There's a breaking ball. Started on the outside half of the plate, broke back to the inside. 0-1 the count. That's much going on over there. Woida takes that one in the back. Doesn't carry him off far enough to be able to move up. 0-1 the count. Dirk's grounded out his first time up. That's outside. 1-1 the count. In the second. 2 down. 2 on. Gonna be amazing. Missed that one, but nonetheless called out. I rarely like to see the dive. Got the out. So the Blue Devils get 1 run on 1 hit. 2. The third inning, Blue Devils leading 1-0. All right, Burns, Chadrick, and back to the top of the order, and Bacon. That ball's foul. Overcast again. It looked like the sun was going to peek out, and now it's kind of gotten dark again. Burns the catcher of this second game. There's a strike called. Burns starts the day batting .281. 0-2 the count. That's outside. 1-2 the count. Headed right back up the middle. So Burns with the base hit. That's going to bring up Chadrick. Today batting .231. He's the left fielder in this game, did not play in the first game. So throw over to first. Perry way in on Chadrick. Nice bunt by Chadrick. Turns out to be a sac bunt. So back to the top of the order and Bacon. Bacon will step in. He grounded out his first time up. There's a strike to Bacon. Bacon is from Emory, Texas. He's up there with 1 out and 1 on. Facing Gavin Killian. Ball there off of Kirkham. Umpire's going to take a walk out to Killian just to give Kirkham a little time to shake that off. Oh, 0-2. There's a base hit into left field. Gonna be an RBI base hit for Bacon. So Coffeyville ties it up here. Runner moves down to second. So 1-1 the score here now. So Colton Rudy will step in. There's a strike. Rudy is from Derby, Kansas. Facing Killian for the second time. Killian got him called out on strikes in the first game. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, 1 on, 1 run by each team thus far. A lot of ones on the old scoreboard right now. Killian trying to keep it that way. One ball, 2 strikes, down, tied up by the Red Ravens. It's a foul ball backing out of play by Colton Rudy, the right fielder. Chadrick and Rudy in this second game. Low, 2-2 the count. Foul ball backing out of play again. We'll do a wild pitch and the runner move over on that wild pitch. Drop to block that did Kirkham, but it bounced away just far enough toward the dugout over on the first base side. Taken over to third. Strike 3. And guess what? That's 2 of those in a row where Colton was headed down to first. And he's down. So, up Midget. Midget is from Columbus, Kansas. I'd want to know the count. Runner at third base is Bacon. He had an RBI base hit after Burns led the inning off with a base hit. Burns was moved to second by Chadrick and a sack. Bunt. There's a strike called, 1-1 the count. One ball, one strike, 2 outs, 1 on. Outside and scooped by Kirkham. There's a breaking ball, catches the belt. Outside half of the plate, 2 balls, strikes. Three balls, 2 strikes. He was hit by a pitch his last time up. 1-2 was the count. You hate as a pitcher to hit somebody, especially with 2 strikes. So 2 hopper to Pachorik. He loads up the rifle, shoots it over to Santiago. So hit, a sack bunt, and a base hit. Tied up here do the Red Ravens. So we go to the bottom of the third, and we're tied at 1. Freddie Nolan the 4th comes up. Center gap his last time up. He takes ball 1. 1-0 the count. Had that 1 out doubled, and the Blue Devils couldn't do anything with it. That's down low, so 2-0 the count here. On the left field, the 4th. That's up high. Count. Hit by a pitch or ball 4, one or the other. Right, that's going to bring baseman Frankie Santiago. He flew out to left field his first time up. He's from Calle, Puerto Rico. And misses for a ball. Now, Nolan the fourth at first base. Bluffed going there. Nothing going on. Did have the count. Maybe Santiago gets something that he can deliver deep. Nolan the fourth with the walk, the leadoff walk. Hit it down the left field line. Go. Toss over to first. Nothing going on over there. High fly ball over to didn't have enough camera for you on that one. Could have seen it there, but down into the quarter and made a good take a look. See, was Jarnigan, but out of play. So 2-2 the count now on Santiago. Toss over to first. Back in safely is Nolan the fourth. Foul ball back. 2-2 again. Bottom of the third inning action, 9-inning scheduled game. We're all knotted up at 1. Blue Devils won the first 7-inning games 5-0. Comes the 2-2 from Collins. That's outside, so 3-2 the count now. Third inning action, Nolan the runner goes, and that's ball 4. So Nolan down at second base. Santiago now at first. And that's going to bring up Pachorik. Colorado. Squares to bunt. The bunt is down. Bunt in of Jarnigan for the out over there. That's going to bring up Cade Perry. Perry will step in with runners at second and third, 1 out. Perry is from Omaha, Nebraska. He'll face Collins the second time. His last home run out to left field, and that base hit did not right side gives up the progress of getting that ball hit to the right side, and the Blue Devils now lead 2-1. That's going to bring up Woida from Lincoln, Nebraska. He's up there with 2 outs and a runner at third. Nice job by the catcher Burns there to keep that ball from going to the screen. 1-0 the count. On the designated hitter, Ian Woida. Woida had a base hit his last time. 2-0 the count now on Woida. There's a swing and a miss of that pitch. Ball headed down the field. Comes the 2-2. There's a ball backhanded by the third baseman, Jarnigan. For the 5-3 ground out. The Blues, 1 run on no hits and 1 left. The Devils lead 2. All right, here we go to the top of the 4th inning. Blue Devils leading 2-1. Killian back for another inning of saying Jarnigan scheduled up for the Red Ravens. First pitch is a strike to Moreno. Moreno is Aruba. National School. On the count on him. That's outside 1-0 the count. He flew out to Pachori. Left field. Just that one. Searching for a camera that might be able to see that one. 1-2 the count on designated hitter Sean Moreno. That's way outside. 2-2. With it. Shoots it over to Santiago for the 6th ground out of the. That's going to bring up Nathan Cruz. From Orange Jet, Tad Ruba for sure. There's a ball headed into left field. It's going to bring up Cooper. Jarnigan grounded out to Tolk at second base. His first time up in this one. He's in Oklahoma. There's a out of the knees. Third baseman Cooper Jarnigan. One and one in the kick. Top of the 4th inning action. There's a strike right through there. Nolan the 4th, Dirk Tolk and Santiago left right across the infield with Colton Kirkham behind the plate and Gavin Killian on the mound. It's down low. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. I believe that's going to get out of play, and yes, it does. We'll do this again. Outside. 3-2 the count now. Down the outfield line, and Kirkham yelled out, 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 save his right fielder Smock from taking the fence about belly high. Do the 3-2 again. Just misses a little bit low and inside, so a 2-out walk to Jarnigan. Bring up there with 2 outs and 1 on. Yukon, Oklahoma. There's a ball headed to the left field, and that's going to center field. Left center's what I'm trying to say. Dirks run down. No runs on no hits. We go to the bottom of the 4th. Blue Devils leading 2-1. I'll be back. 2-1. Collins back for another inning of work for the Red Ravens. Smock. The Blue Devils. For is a ball. Smock is from Aurora, Colorado. There's a breaking ball, cuts across the outside half of the plate. Breaking ball. Nice job by the third baseman, Jarnigan. From his knees, he throws over to Pace, and Pace digs it out to get Smock out. 5-3 ground out. That's going to bring up Kirkham. Kirkham is from Platte, Missouri. Takes a strike, 0-1 the count. He flew out into shallow center to the shortstop. It's another pop-up out into shallow right, this time taken care of by Midget. So that's going to bring up Tolk. Tolk is from Sioux Falls, South Dakota. That's high and inside, 1-0 the count. Tolk reached on a base on balls his last time out. There's I thought that'd be a strike. A ball right there, 2-0 the count. That's inside for ball 3. 3-0 the count. Chadrick, Bacon, and Rudy across the outfield. Jarnigan, Cruz, Midget, and Pace across the infield. Burns on strike on the right. So from 3-0 to 3-2 is Cy Collins, Oklahoma. There, so a 2-out to the top of the order, and Marcus Dirks. Dirks has grounded out with combination of first base and both times. That's down low for ball 1. Tolk bluffed going there. Tolk has back-to-back walks in this game, once in the second and once in the fourth. Second baseman and the number 9 hitter. Dirks. Hey, there we crossed the 100 viewers again. Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. Toss over to first, back in safely is Tolk. One and one the count, 2 outs. Dirks at the plate. Tolk at first. Another Tolk.
No, he can't throw over there unless you fix him up, right? You guys don't play that thing.
I don't. You get one step off. If you can pick as many times as you want, though.
Safe. Never even tagged him.
Gonna be safe with a stolen base. is Tolk. 1-2 the count. Tolk at second base now. That's in the dirt. Nicely blocked by Burns. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Just a little bit outside. Wanted that call right there.
I'm usually probably bringing calls, but I'm not really certain they can win.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 1 on at second base. In scoring position is Tolk. He reached on a 2-out walk and stole a base. There's a ball over into the dugout. Oh, red. Don't burn. We'll do the 3-2 again.
I'll lift the outfield, I'll righty infield.
We had lefty first, I was a lefty righty, lefty left. Fielder, our righty was righty. Our center was a righty back.
Runner goes. And going to be a stolen base. And the walk. So Dirks with the walk. That's going to bring up Nolan the fourth. He's had a double and hit by a pitch in this game. Catcher Burns out, gives some information to his infielders on what we're going to do with the first and third. Go. Second, so Dirks, they give the stolen base with that, no throw. It is not indifferent. That just chose not to throw. So Nolan the fourth now with 2 RBI in position for him. There's a strike on the corner. Oh, and 2 the count now on Freddie Nolan the fourth. Great curveball, slaps it into right. And 2 more RBI. And that's going to make the score 4-1. That'll bring up Santiago. Santiago will step in with 2 outs and a runner at first base. Nice job of 2-strike hitting right there by Nolan the fourth. To strike at the belt outside half of the plate. Santiago's been out on a fly to left and reached on a base on balls. So for 1 in this second game. That's outside. And going to be out at second base. So Nolan the fourth is caught stealing. And the Blue Devils get 2 runs on 1 hit. And we go to the top of the 5th inning. Blue Devils leading 4-1. I'll be back. Stay with us. Thanks for joining me. Both games over 100 viewers. I appreciate y'all. Top of the fifth inning action. Burns, Chadrick, and Bacon scheduled up. That's outside. Excuse me, Burns is from Salina, Kansas. Of this second game for the Red Ravens. Want to know the count on him? He had a base hit to left field. Another inning of work from Hughesville, Missouri. A fly ball. Taking Dirks. It's going to bring up Ty Chadrick. Ty Chadrick had a sac bunt his last time up. Chadrick is from Tuttle, Oklahoma. It's a two-hopper, rooms up to over to Santiago for the 4-3 ground up back to the lead. He's 1 for 2 in this second game. A ground out and an RBI base hit. That misses for a ball. Want to know the count? Top of the fifth action. We're halfway through this one. 9 scheduled game. There's a strike inside corner at the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Foul ball over into the workout area of the Blue Devils. So 1-2 the count. Comes the 1-2 from Killian. That's outside. Two balls and 2 strikes now. Bacon with his toes up on that chalk of the batter's box. There's a ball headed into left field. That's going to be taken by no. So 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on. And we're going to get a pitching change for. Nope, not. See what he was motioning here then. Not sure. But we are going to the bottom of the 5th. Blue Devils leading 4-1. I'll be back. All right, to the bottom of the 5th we go. Santiago was up to bat when Nolan the fourth was caught stealing. Santiago been out on a fly to left field in this one. That's high and outside, 1-0 the count. Foul ball right there. One from being, we are right at halfway through this one. 2-1 the Frankie Santiago. Whistled that one into the dugout. Scattered some bit over 2-2 the count now on the first baseman Santiago. It's outside. 3-2 the count now as Santiago leads off the bottom of the fifth inning for his Blue Devils. That's up high for ball four. So a leadoff walk to Santiago. That's going to bring up Tanner Pachorik. Pachorik has grounded out and had a sac bunt in this one. Ball misses a little bit outside to Pachorik. Runner at first base is Santiago. Runner goes, and Pachorik slaps it into right field. And for the third does Santiago on the base hit by Pachorik. The hit and run was on. That's going to bring up Perry. Perry step in with nobody out and runners at the first inning. Perry hit one over the left field fence, and in the third he got an RBI getting the side. He was out first base to a pitcher. That was in the third. That missed just a little bit low. 1-0 the count on the third baseman, Cade Perry. Ground ball just foul between Santiago Coach at third. One and one the count. In safely over there. Santiago over. Foul ball. Good. Pachorik was off with the pitch, so he'll have to retreat. One and two now the count on the third baseman, Cade Perry. So ground ball headed to the fielder's choice on the 6-4. And that fielder's choice yields a run. Runner moves from third to score. So now it is 5-1. The Blue Devils leading. We just had a base hit and a ground out in one. There's hit by a pitch. That'll bring up Spencer Smock. Smock will step in with one out. Runners at first. Smock is struck out and grounded out. Change will be back. Blue Devils lead 5-1. We're in the bottom of the fifth with just one out. I'll be back. All right, the pitching change has been made. Zane Wilson from Shawnee, Oklahoma. He has a 6.75 ERA. He's 0-3 on the year, 17 and a third innings pitched. Smock is the first hitter he will see. Swing and a miss there by Smock. Smock has a strikeout and a ground out so far in this one. Swing and a miss of that pitch there. So quickly 0-2 the count on the right fielder, Spencer Smock. That's up high. Waited down at first. Pachorik at second. Swing and a miss of that pitch. Excuse me, that's Cade Perry. Zach Pachorik was out on the fielder's choice of Cade Perry. So the strikeout on Smock, that's going to bring up Kirkham. That's up high. Kirkham's been out on a fly to Cruz at short and Midget into shallow right field. His 2 at-bats. There's a strike. Catches the outside corner, so 1-1 the count. On the catcher, Colt. There's a strike. Breaking ball catches the outside corner at the waist. Swing and a miss. The throw from the catcher burns down to pace for the strike. So the Blue Devils get 1 run on 1 hit. Couple guys left on. The top of the 6th inning, Blue Devils leading 5-1. I'll be back. All right. To the top of the 6th we go. Rudy, Midget, and Verano scheduled up. That ball is out to Marcus Dirks for the first out of the inning. So pitch, 1 out. It's going to bring up Midget. Midget's been hit it out to Pachorik at short. There's a strike called. 0-1 the count. And 1 the count on Midget. Just past the outreached glove of Sawyer Talk for the so Midget base hit up the middle. It's going to bring up Moreno. Moreno's out of wide out to Pechoric. So 0 for 2 in this second game. There is a strike and a swing. I believe that'll go as a pass ball as opposed to a wild pitch. The runner moves up. I don't believe that ball hit the ground before it. I think Colton would tell you he should have had that one 0 and won the count. Midget now at second base. Another ball backing out of play. Oh, 2 the count. Swing and a miss of that high heater. Moreno has not been happy with himself. I saw him kind of out giving himself a pep talk. He was 1 for 3 in the first game and 0 for 3 so far in this one. This is going to bring up Cruz. Cruz has been out on a strikeout and a fly to left field. Swing and a miss of that pitch there with 2 outs now. Turns on that foul ball in front of it. Oh, and 2 the count now on the shortstop, Nathan Cruz. Kelly in back is 6 work. Foul ball back to the screen. We'll do the 0-2 again. Just a little bit low and outside, pretty close right there. 1-2 the count. Blue Devils with the 5-1 lead here in the top of the 6th, 9-inning scheduled game. The Blue Devils took the first game in 7 innings, 7-inning scheduled game 5-0. There's a high chopper toward Perry, and that ball is going to be foul. 1-2 the count.
If you were a parent of this team, would you buy a Coffeyville hat or just go buy Cincinnati? It's the same, isn't it?
I'll try to be cheaper. The Coffeyville has proper cheaper.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
There's a lot of teams like this. Everyone uses that seat. The Bears do, just a different color.
Just inside, was hoping it'd hit him.
It looked like it did.
It looked like it just got his pants, just like the wrinkle got just a little bit. I agree. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Runner at second base. Blue Devils with the 5-1 lead. Swing and a miss for the strikeout. So no runs on 1 hit, 1 left on for the Red Ravens. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. Blue Devils leading 5-1. Still up over. Appreciate y'all. Thanks for joining me today. Be sure and like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell so you'll be notified every time we make an upload or go live. Thanks again. Of the fourth scheduled up for the Blue Devils. There's a ball headed into left field. That's going to be down and for a base hit. So Talk with a base hit in. So back to the top of the order, and Dirks. Anybody betting on a bunt right here? Runner at base. And takes ball with the count on the center fielder, Marcus Dirks. Dirks didn't show bunt on that pitch. We'll see here. That's just a little bit high. Oh, the count, excuse me. Runner down at first base is the second baseman, Sawyer Talk. He leads this thing off with a base hit here in the bottom of the sixth. There's a strike. 2-1 the count on Marcus Dirks. He's grounded out a couple of times toward the right side, and he's stolen a couple of base on balls. Wilson. That's out of play. 2-2 the count now. Comes the stretch and the 2-2 from Wilson. There's a wild pitch right there. Gets away from the catcher. Pitch. 3-2 the count now on Dirks. There's ball 4. So a leadoff hit and a base on balls. And Nolan the fourth comes to the plate. He's had a double and a single with 2 RBI. He was caught stealing. No worries there. And he was hit by a pitch. So 2 for 2 with 2 hits, 2 RBIs, and he hit by no second game. He's up there now with 2 on and right through there. On 1 the count on Nolan the fourth. Squares to bunt. The bunt is down. Gets him well for a big guy, but he gets the sack bunt there. The third baseman with a nice play is Jernigan. Now runners at second and third, and that's going to bring up Santiago. Santiago, he's been out on a fly. Intentional base on balls right there to load things up. Not risk an opportunity of him being able to put it in the air and do anything with it. So that's going to bring up Pachorik as Santiago the base on balls. So Pachorik, he's had a ground out, a sac bunt, and a base hit to right field. Hit to right field was a hit and run. There's a strike called. Full of Blue Devils here. It works at second. Fouled that into the screen, does Pachorik. So into the count. 1 out. Tolk at third. Dirk Santiago at first. Pachorik at the plate. That's in the dirt. That's going to be a wild pitch. And 1 run is going to score on the wild pitch. That's going to make it 6-1. Is that a 6 out there, guys?
Yes. There's no line in the bottom of that 6, but it is a 6.
There's a ball that's just going to buck snort out into left field and field right there, and 2 more makes it 8 now. 1, and that's going to bring up Perry. 3 runs in the inning. It's toss over. Boy, that throw was right on the money right there from Wilson. The hand got back in first of Pachorik. Runner goes and a strike is called. Strike is called to Perry. Perry has a home run. He has but his ground outs have both been productive. He's an RBI in all 3 of his at-bats, a home run and 2 ground outs. Swing and a miss of that pitch right there so quickly. 0-2 the count. A high chopper, that's going to be just a bit foul. Down there at third base. Coming in to take a look at that was. So we'll do the 0-2 again. Cade Perry, the ball headed to left and headed to third. So the fly ball gets a runner over to third. Cade Perry, center fielder, Bacon in deep left center. Runner going to bring up Woida. Woida's had a base hit, a ground out, and hit by a pitch in this game. That's high and outside. Want to know the count. An RBI opportunity here with the runner at third base, which is Pachorik. For a ball right there. We've seen that ball called a strike a time or two today. That's in the dirt, nicely blocked by Burns. 3-0 the count.
I don't think this guy will make it hit a home run.
I mean, he has 5.
Really?
Look at his 5.
That's pretty small.
Swing and a miss.
No, he's like
3-0
1.
the count. You know, that old adage, walks as good as a hit. Right here it's not, because it doesn't score that run. That's base on balls, ball 4. It's going to bring up Smock. Smock has 4 home runs on the year. There's a breaking ball right through there. The guy's kind of rooting for a walk-off up here. Home runs on the year. 1-1 the count. Santiago and Horn have the only more home runs than Smock. There's the runner going to second. Going to throw down to third. Nothing going on down there. Back safely. So now runners. Now you don't even need to have off. And out, a nice play by the third baseman, Jarnigan, deep behind the back for the 5-3 ground out to get Smock. The Blue Devils get 3 on 2 hits. Going to get a pitching change here. 9. Change going to bring in number 50. We'll get those changes. Blue Devils leading 9-1. I'll be back. Pitching change has been made by the Blue Devils. Number 50, Caden Howell from Lansing, Kansas, comes in. Howell has a 2.38 ERA. He 7 innings pitched. He's had is 0-2 called upon here to keep this 9-1 game going on here. Scheduled up is Pace and Burns. Jernigan will step in and face Caden Howe. That's outside the ball. Jernigan has grounded out to second and reached on a base. That's this way outside. 2-0 the count. Comes the 2. There's a striker. 2-1 the count. In the dirt. 3-1 the count. Third time through the order for the Red Ravens. That's up high. So a leadoff walk issued to Jernigan. It's going to bring up Pace. Pace will step in with a runner at first base and nobody out. Pace has struck out and been out on a fly ball to Dirksen's. Breaking ball breaks a little bit outside. Comes the 1-0. There's a strike outside. That's 1-1 the count now on the first baseman, Wyatt Pace. Toss over to first, back in safely is Jernigan. Misses a little bit inside, 2-1 the count. Breaking ball, swing and a miss. 2-2 the count now on Wyatt Pace, the first baseman. Going to be a foul ball. Bounced over the head of the coach down at third base. We'll do the 2-2 again. Swing and a miss of that heater right there. It's going to bring up Burns. Peyton Burns will step in. Burns has a base hit and a pop center field. 1 out, 1 on. Down low, nicely blocked by Kirkham. Breaking ball bends right through there for strike called. One ball, one strike, one. Quick toss over to There's a swing and a miss. I behind one. That just misses 2-2 the count. 8-1 the lead. Top of the 7th inning action. Scheduled 9-inning game. Blue Devils took the first game 5-0. Foul play. Back out here in the top of the 7th. There's a breaking ball just a little bit low. Look good. Three balls, strike, 1 out. That's outside ball 4. So a walk, a 1 out, runners at first and second. Ty Chadrick now will step in. He's the left fielder for the Red Ravens in this one. Hard hit ground ball right at an infielder would be good. There's a strike called. There's another strike right through there. Quickly 0-2. It's set first. Chadrick at the plate. Spoils that pitch. He earns himself. Way outside. 1-2 the count. Red Ravens with 1 in the third, 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth, 3 in the sixth. 8-1 lead. Ball's out. One and two the count. Misses a little bit outside. 2-2 the count. Caden Howell on in relief of Gavin Killian. Killian went 6 innings. Looked a little low and inside with that old delayed punch out. So we get a base on balls, a strikeout, a base on balls, and a punch out. Back to the Bacon. Bacon is 1 for 3 in this game. Has a fly out and an RBI. There's a strike right through there at the knees. 0-1 the count. There's a two-hopper to Santiago. Assisted ground out. The bottom half of the seventh inning, the Blue Devils leading. I'll be back. Here we go.
Now pitching Sebastian Hudlin.
Wait, that's our team.
Is it?
Yeah.
He's like, I'm pitching? I wasn't even playing today. Is he even?
His shortstop. He's up with it and over the first. So Cruz over to pace for the 6-3 ground out.
See, that's what I got you guys up here for. Who do you pitch at? 5-3?
Right. Hitter as well here, which is Holden Finley. Finley will step in. He will bat here for Sawyer Talk. 1 out in the inning. There's a strike called. Ryder King from Pryor, Oklahoma, takes the mound. That's outside. 1-1 the count. As a say, there's a hit by a pitch. So Finley is hit by a 1 out. So back to the top of the order. Dirk outs and a couple of walks. King has a 2-0 record. 9 1/3 innings pitched. 0-1 the count. There's a ball in field. So Dirks just strokes that right into right field for a base hit. The Blue Devils have got runners at excuse me, 1 out. Freddie Nolan, the fourth. He is 2 for 2 in this game. Hits, 2. The first pitch is a strike to him. 0-1. Nolan the fourth. There's a strike called right there. So quickly 0-2 the count. Runners 1 out, 0-2 the count. Way outside. At second base. Dirks over at first. 1-2 the count. Going to get the fielder's choice. Jarnigan takes and cuts that off from Cruz over to Midget at second base for the 5-4 fielder's choice. Now runners at the corners for Santiago. Santiago will step in. Santiago's been out on a fly to left and 3 walks. Intentional his last at bat. 2 outs now. Way outside. Finley over at third. No fourth at first. High fly ball into shallow center field. Cruz goes. Blue Devils get no runs on 1 hit. They leave a couple of guys stranded. We go to the top of the 8th inning. Blue Devils lead back. Has been made by the Blue Devils. Jake Francis will come in. He has a 6.00 ERA. 1-1 is his record. He's had 9 innings pitched. Rudy, Midget, and Moreno scheduled up for the Red Ravens of Coffeyville. Way high and outside with that first pitch from Titus. Colton Rudy, the right fielder, at the plate. That's up a little bit. 2-0 the count. Top of the 8th inning action. Blue Devils leading. Blue Devils won the first game 5-0. The games on Saturday have been moved to Sunday, and they will be, as you are supposed to be at Coffeyville today, but it was moved on. The Blue Devils will travel down to Coffeyville, and that's 4 straight balls for a base on balls. It's going to Midget. Midget, the second baseman. He's been hit by a pitch, grounded out to Pachorik at short, and had a base hit. He's still at first base. A strike right through there. That's what you like is that first strike pitch on each. 0-1 the count. Runner at first. Rudy. It's a ground ball foul over the post base and the Red Raven dugout. So quickly 0-2 the count on the second baseman, Midget. Just a little bit up. 1-2 the count. Titus on relief of Howell and went 6 innings. Howell went 1. Killian gave up 1 run on 2 hits. There's a swing for Moreno steps in. He is 0 for 3. This one, a pop out, a ground out, and a strikeout. He's up there with 1 out and 1 on. That's up high for ball 1, 1-0 the count. Jake Titus. There's a hit by pitch. Going to bring runners at first and second will. There's a strike at the belt right through there. Cruz is 0 for 3 in this game with a couple of strikeouts and a fly out to Nolan in left field. It's a little bit up and out. Not much work going on down in the bullpen for the Red Ravens. Like no, they're getting ready. Blazer down in the bullpen, ready for the Blue Devils. Titus on the mound for now. Runners thought that was a foul ball. Yes, I did too. So 2-2 the count. Nice job by the outfield umpire on one that the home plate umpire not a sure. Two and two the count. Top of the eighth inning, 2-1. A high fly ball to deep, taken care of by Dirks, and the runner tags and goes to third. Watch the runner at first. The runners at first and third, 2 outs. That's going to bring up Jernigan. Jernigan is grounded out and walked a couple of times in this one. Cooper Jernigan, the third baseman, steps in with 2 outs. There's a breaking ball right through there for a strike called.
No.
0-1 the count.
Our outfield's pretty good. Our outfield's also all older guys. Yeah.
In a minute. So 0-1.
Two
0-2. There's a high chopper late swing and stays alive, does Jernigan. That's a little bit outside. Jernigan was not chasing on that one. Runners at the corners. Jernigan at the plate. Breaking ball stays up and in. All strikes, 2 outs. For the 8th inning action. Devils 7. Comes the 2-2. Right down the middle, strike 3. So the Ravens get no runs on no hits. Leave a couple stranded. We go to the bottom half. Leading back. Pitching change. The Red Ravens. Webb Fern, number 30 from Pittsburgh, Kansas, comes in. A 6.75 ERA. Has a 1-1 record. Appearances. And face. Rick Perry and Wojda potentially here. The 8th. I got a little bookwork to keep on back here. Now it's the bottom of the. That's down low, 2-0 the count on Paciorek has 2 for 3. Sack bunt, a couple of hits, and there's a strike called. His last base. There's a fly ball headed to deep center field, and Bacon just does a great job of running down everything. That's the second time he's gone over. Another pinch hitter here. So Carter Towns will pinch. Towns is from Kansas City, Missouri. Towns will step in. Towns will. Hey, why does he get his. I understand that, but he acts like the world's coming to an end over. So throw your arms up, get a timeout, but my word. 1-0 the count to Carter Towns. Got a lot of things going on up here. 2-0 the count now. Give the guys a little back, I guess is my point. There's a ball headed over to Midget, trying to find out some information here, and that goofed me up, so my bad on that, trying to find out what his batting average was for the day. And now here's another pinch hitter. This is going to be. So Hertzke will pinch hit here with 2 outs. That stays up high. So 1-0 the count. 2-0 the count now. Webb Fern from Pittsburgh. Bacon and Rudy in the outfield. Jarnigan, Cruz, Midget, and Pace across the infield. There's into center field. Going to have another pinch hitter. Barham is from Kansas, Missouri. Step in with a runner at first base. Counts. Want to know the count on Barham. It's a ground ball right at shortstop. Sends it over to Midget for the 6-4 fielder's choice. The Blue Devils get no runs on 1 hit. We'll get the defensive changes if they will help. leading 8-1 going to the ninth. All right, new pitcher on the mound for the Blue Devils, Dylan Blazer from Shawnee, Kansas.
41, Dylan Blazer.
Pace, Burns, and Hendrick scheduled up for the Red Ravens.
Batting, number 10, Wyatt Pace.
Wyatt Pace. He's 0 for 3, a couple of strikeouts and a flyout. There's a strike. Towns is in left. Dirks is in center. Nolan the fourth went over to right. Third and Elliott. That's high and inside. Elliott at first, and Horn back in to catch. He was the catcher of the first game.
He's still in there. 32 still in there. So he's still in there.
You are correct. My bad. It was just my bad. Kirkham still behind the plate. I thought the other is who threw it down, messed that up. 3-2. Just misses to walk Pace. That'll bring up Burns. Burns is the catcher in this second game. Catcher in the first game. There's a strike right through there. Top of the ninth inning action. Blue Devils need 3 outs. There's a ball, 4 unassisted, over to Elliott. So Tolk steps on the bag and over to Elliott for the 4-3 double play. Ty Chadrick now comes up. He's had a sac bunt, a ground out, and was called out on strikes. He'll step in with the Red Ravens down to their last out for this one. There's a breaking ball right through there by Blazer. Killian went 6, Howell went 1, Titus went 1. And Blazer gets the 9th. There's a ground ball right back to Blazer. Into his glove. He underhands it over to Elliott for 1-3 ground out. And that's the ball game. The Blue Devils win this one 8-1. They won the first one 5-0, 8-1. Remember that the games on Sunday instead of Saturday down at Coffeyville, they have. You can get that broadcast website, 4tees.com. There'll be a link there, or you can go to the Coffeyville or there. The Blue take on travel down to play the other two games of this series. I appreciate you watching and listening. Have a great rest of the day. Be safe, and we'll talk to you again soon.